experiencing distance from an individual can be challenging. The desire to communicate our feelings is often accompanied by hesitation and uncertainty about whether it's the right move. Imagine walking through life feeling a hidden thread pulling at your heart, a whisper in the wind that seems to call your name. It's a sensation that tugs at the edges of your awareness, leaving you wondering if you're truly alone in your thoughts or if someone, somewhere, is holding you in their heart, reaching out across the vast expanse of existence without saying a single word. What if I told you that there are unseen signs, gentle yet profound, that someone deeply misses you and is thinking about you right now? If you're curious about whether you're occupying someone's thoughts, join me as we take a look at the signs that someone deeply misses you. Sign 1: Dream visits. It is in the dream world that the first spiritual sign someone deeply misses you often manifests, through dream visits. Dream visits are not mere figments of our imagination. They are, as ancient cultures and modern psychology suggest, windows to our soul's deepest desires and connections. The Aboriginal peoples of Australia speak of the dream time, a sacred era where ancestral spirits laid down the spiritual laws of existence. Dreams, in this context, are not only a bridge to understanding the present but also a medium through which those who miss us can reach across the divide. Dream time is a very special time for Aboriginal peoples. It's when the world was created by their ancestor spirits. These ancestors traveled across the land, creating rivers, stars, hills, and all living things. The stories from dream time teach us about life, the laws of nature, and how to live together in harmony. When we sleep and dream, Aboriginals believe we can connect with this ancient time. It's like we're walking with the spirits of those who came before us. If someone misses us deeply, they might send us messages through our dreams. These messages are not just random thoughts. They are important and filled with love and guidance. Dream time teaches that everything and everyone is connected, not just here and now, but across time and space. So when we dream of someone who misses us, it's a sign that this connection is strong and alive. It's a way for them to say, I am here with you, even if they are far away or from another time. Carl Jung, the Swiss psychiatrist, also delved deep into the significance of dreams. He proposed that dreams are a dialogue with the unconscious, a means to reconcile our inner conflicts and desires. When someone appears in our dreams, it's not merely a replay of memory but a profound connection at the level of the psyche. The person missing you may not be consciously sending you messages, but the emotional bond you share creates ripples that touch you in your dreams. These dream visits often carry an emotional intensity that lingers into our waking life. They are painted with vivid colors, imbued with deep feelings, and sometimes leave us with a sense of peace or longing. The person who misses you may appear more vibrant or convey messages without words, highlighting the nonverbal language of the soul. This spiritual encounter is a reminder of the unseen threads that connect us, transcending physical distances and the silence between words. Understanding dream visits requires a gentle awareness and openness to the mysteries of the spirit. It invites us to consider how our connections with others are not limited to the physical world. The poet Rumi once said, "The soul has been given its own ears to hear things the mind does not understand." In dreams, the soul listens, feels, and sometimes it reconnects with those who yearn for us from afar. Sign 2. You can't get them off your mind. Just as dreams offer a window into the soul's deepest desires and yearnings, our waking thoughts serve as a mirror reflecting the invisible connections that bind us. The second spiritual sign that someone deeply misses you manifests in the intriguing phenomenon: the inability to get them off your mind. This is not about the occasional reminiscence or fleeting memories that visit us from time to time. It's a constant whisper, a persistent presence in your thoughts, as if their spirit is calling out to yours. In a way, this persistent presence echoes the teachings of Advaita Vedanta, an ancient wisdom tradition from India that speaks of the profound unity of all existence. At the heart of Advaita Vedanta lies the simple yet profound truth that there is only one reality, and everything we perceive as separate is actually interconnected. This notion can be thought of like the vast ocean and its waves. Just as waves are not separate from the ocean but are expressions of the same body of water, every individual's essence is not distinct from the universal essence. Advaita Vedanta teaches that the separation we feel from others, the longing, and the missing are a result of forgetting our true nature, which is pure consciousness. The thoughts that incessantly circle in our mind, especially when we miss someone deeply, can be viewed as reminders. These reminders are not merely emotional responses but signals pointing us toward the realization that, at a deeper level, we are always connected. There is no real separation between us and those we miss because, at the core, we are all part of the same universal existence. The phenomenon of constantly thinking about someone, therefore, could be seen as a call to remember this fundamental unity. It's an invitation to look beyond the surface of physical separation and recognize the underlying oneness that Advaita Vedanta speaks of. By understanding this, the persistent thoughts and the sense of missing someone become not a source of sorrow but a path to deeper insight and connection. Thus, according to Advaita Vedanta, the solution to the ache of missing someone is not to try and bridge the physical distance or fill the void with distractions. Rather, it is to dive deeper into the understanding of our true nature, realizing that in the realm of pure consciousness, we are already united with those we love. The thoughts of the individual often come with a sense of warmth, a comforting presence that envelopes you even in their physical absence. It's as if their love and longing reach out to you, transcending the barriers of the physical world, reminding you of the invisible threads that connect your souls. This spiritual sign calls for deep listening, an attunement to the inner voices that whisper truths beyond the grasp of our rational minds. In the words of the mystic poet Hafez, "I wish I could show you when you are lonely or in darkness the astonishing light of your own being." Sometimes, the persistent thought of someone is a beacon of light, a reminder of the unbreakable bond that continues to shine even in their absence. It's an invitation to recognize the profound connections that nourish our souls, urging us to embrace the mystery of our interconnectedness. Sign 3. You have random mood swings and unexplained emotions. As we delve deeper into the exploration of spiritual signs that someone deeply misses you, we encounter a phenomenon that is as perplexing as it is profound: the experience of random mood swings and unexplained emotions. This phenomenon can be understood through the lens of emotional empathy, a concept that finds resonance in both the realms of psychology and spiritual wisdom. Emotional empathy refers to the capacity to physically feel the emotions of others, a deep form of empathic connection that transcends mere cognitive understanding. From a spiritual perspective, this form of empathy reflects the fundamental interconnectedness of all beings, a principle echoed in the Buddhist concept of Indra's net, where the universe is envisioned as an infinitely vast web with every being a jewel at each node, reflecting all others. When we experience random mood swings and unexplained emotions, it might be seen as a moment of touching another's jewel, feeling the reverberations of their emotions across the cosmic web of existence. These emotional waves can often be surprising in their intensity. You might find yourself engulfed in a sudden bout of melancholy, a poignant longing, or an inexplicable sense of comfort and warmth with no apparent reason. It's as though the emotions of the person missing you are washing over you, a silent communication from their heart to yours. This spiritual sign invites us to pause and reflect, to listen deeply to the ebbs and flows of our emotional seas, and to acknowledge the profound connections that can influence us in such visceral ways. The teachings of Thich Nhat Hanh, the Zen Buddhist master, shed light on the practice of mindful awareness, suggesting that by paying close attention to our emotions, we can uncover their origins and interconnections. When faced with unexplained emotional shifts, Mindfulness allows us to explore these feelings with compassion and curiosity, opening a space for understanding the unseen ties that bind us to others. These moments of emotional communion are not mere coincidences. They are reminders of the threads of empathy and understanding that connect us, often manifesting when someone's thoughts and feelings about us are particularly strong. It's a call to recognize the invisible bonds of affection and longing that can transcend the limitations of physical presence, touching us in the deepest realms of our being. Sign 4. Warmth in the heart. Moving through the intricate dance of emotions and thoughts, we arrive at a sign that is as comforting as a gentle embrace: the feeling of warmth in the heart. This spiritual sign transcends the physical, enveloping us in a sensation of love and security that seems to come from beyond our immediate reality. It's as if, in moments of solitude or silence, we can feel the presence of someone who deeply misses us, their affection reaching out to wrap us in an invisible cloak of warmth and comfort. This experience, akin to an internal hug, speaks to the profound connection that exists between hearts that care for each other. It's a manifestation of love's power to transcend distances and barriers, touching us in ways that words cannot fully capture. This reminds me of the parable of the prodigal son. In this tale, a young man, after squandering his inheritance on a life of extravagance and pleasure, finds himself in dire poverty. With humility overcoming pride, he decides to return to his father, expecting scorn or even rejection. However, the response he receives is far from what he anticipates. Instead of condemnation, his father welcomes him with open arms, celebrating his return as if he were welcoming a hero from a long journey. This reaction surprises many but serves as a powerful testament to the essence of unconditional love and forgiveness. The father's embrace in this story symbolizes the ultimate acceptance and the renewal of a bond that seemed irreversibly damaged. It teaches us that love is not a commodity to be earned by deeds or lost by missteps. Rather, it is a gift that remains steadfast even in the face of betrayal. The warmth of the Father's welcome is akin to the warmth we feel in our hearts when we realize that love can bridge vast distances and heal deep wounds. Just like the invisible cloak of warmth and comfort mentioned earlier, the parable of the prodigal son shows us that no matter how far we stray or how lost we feel, the path back to love and acceptance is always open. It's a reminder that, in the end, the essence of love is not judgment or expectation, but a welcoming embrace that knows no bounds. The concept of heart warmth finds echoes in various spiritual traditions. In many cultures, the heart is not just seen as a physical organ, but as the center of spiritual and emotional life, the home of the soul. The Sufi tradition, for example, speaks of the heart as a mirror reflecting the divine love that permeates the universe. When we feel warmth in our heart, it could be interpreted as a moment of connection to this divine love, channeled through the thoughts and feelings of someone who misses us. This warmth is not always tied to a specific thought or memory of the person. It can emerge spontaneously in moments when we least expect it, offering solace and a sense of being loved. It's a reminder that our connections with others are not just maintained through conversations or physical presence, but are nurtured in the unseen realms of emotion and spirit. Embracing the warmth in our heart requires a certain openness, a willingness to receive and acknowledge the love and care that comes our way, even when it cannot be seen or touched. It invites us to trust in the strength of our bonds with others, believing in the capacity of love to bridge the gaps that life sometimes places between us. Sign 5. Intuitive feelings. As we venture further into the realm of spiritual signs, we encounter a subtle yet powerful indicator: intuitive feelings. This sign nudges us into realizing that someone deeply misses us through a quiet inner knowing, a whisper in the soul that speaks without words. This intuitive feeling is like an unseen hand gently tapping on our shoulder, reminding us of someone's presence in their absence. It's not loud or demanding but requires a moment of stillness to be fully perceived. In our busy lives, filled with noise and distraction, these intuitive nudges can be easy to overlook. Yet when we cultivate a practice of mindfulness, allowing ourselves moments of quiet reflection, we become more attuned to these subtle cues. The essence of intuition lies in its directness. It bypasses the analytical mind, offering insights that feel both sudden and profound. This phenomenon aligns with the teachings of many spiritual traditions that value the wisdom of the heart and gut over the rational mind. In Taoist philosophy, for example, there's a deep trust in the spontaneous understanding that arises from being in harmony with the Tao, the fundamental nature of the universe. Our intuitive feelings about someone missing us can be seen as a connection to this natural flow, a sign that our hearts are in tune with the larger rhythms of life and relationships. These feelings can manifest in various ways. A sudden urge to reach out to the person, a fleeting sense of their presence, or a serene confidence that you're being thought of with love and longing. Unlike the more tangible signs, intuition whispers in the language of the soul, asking for our trust and openness to the unseen forces that shape our lives and relationships. To embrace our intuitive feelings is to honor the deep wisdom within us, the part that knows without knowing how it knows. It's an invitation to trust in the unseen bonds that connect us, to believe in the power of our connections to transcend physical and temporal limitations. This spiritual sign challenges us to listen not only with our ears, but with our entire being to the quiet messages of the heart that tell us we are missed, we are loved, and we are remembered. Sign 6. Feeling their presence. This sign goes beyond mere memory or imagination. It's an unmistakable feeling that someone who deeply misses you is near, their essence lingering in the spaces you both once shared or in the quiet moments of solitude. The feeling of someone's presence can manifest in various forms. It might be a sudden chill in the air, a tingling sensation on the skin, or an inexplicable sense of warmth and comfort. In some instances, it can even take the form of subtle auditory or visual cues. A whisper in the wind, a flicker of light, or a familiar scent wafting through the air. These sensations are not bound by the constraints of time or distance. They bridge the gap between the physical and the spiritual, reminding us of the enduring nature of our connections with others. Throughout history, cultures around the world have embraced the belief in spirits or apparitions, manifestations of the souls of the departed, or the lingering echoes of those who hold us dear. While the concept of ghosts may evoke fear or apprehension in some, the feeling of someone's presence, in the context of spiritual signs, is often comforting and reassuring. It's as though the boundaries between the living and the departed blur, allowing us to feel the continued presence of those who have touched our lives deeply. In psychology, the sensation of feeling someone's presence is sometimes attributed to the phenomenon known as sensed presence. This refers to the perception of another person's presence in the absence of any physical evidence, often experienced by individuals who are grieving or experiencing intense emotions. While science may seek to explain these sensations through neurological processes, the spiritual significance of feeling someone's presence transcends empirical understanding, speaking to the mystery and wonder of human connection. This deep and intuitive knowing, where we feel the presence of those we've lost, echoes the philosophical inquiries about the nature of existence, consciousness, and the bonds that transcend physical limitations. One philosopher who delves into the nature of being and the profound connections that define our existence is Martin Heidegger. In his magnum opus Being and Time, Heidegger explores the concept of Dasein, or being there, which suggests that our existence is fundamentally entangled with the world and others within it. This entanglement implies that our relationships with others are not merely physical but are embedded in the very fabric of our being. To acknowledge and embrace the feeling of someone's presence requires a willingness to open our hearts to the unseen realms of existence. It invites us to trust in the intuitive knowing that arises from deep within. It's a reminder that our connections with others extend beyond the confines of the physical world, reaching into the vast expanse of the spiritual and metaphysical. Sign 7. Finding lost items. In the symphony of spiritual signs, there exists a phenomenon that speaks to the intricate interplay between the physical and the metaphysical. Finding lost items. This sign manifests as a series of serendipitous encounters where objects thought to be lost forever mysteriously reappear in unexpected places or are returned to us by chance encounters. The experience of finding lost items often defies rational explanation. It can occur in the most unlikely of circumstances, leaving us in awe of the mysterious forces at work. From a misplaced key turning up in a coat pocket we've already searched a dozen times to a cherished memento appearing on our doorstep long after we had given up hope. These moments of rediscovery are imbued with a sense of magic and wonder. The concept of synchronicity is central to understanding the interconnectedness of all things. Coined by the previously discussed Swiss psychologist Carl Jung, synchronicity refers to meaningful coincidences that cannot be explained by cause and effect, but are instead seen as expressions of the underlying unity of the universe. When we find lost items in seemingly miraculous ways, it's as though the universe is sending us a message, reminding us of the invisible threads that connect us to those who miss us dearly. The belief in the power of objects to carry energy and meaning is also prevalent in various cultures and spiritual practices. From the talismans and amulets of ancient civilizations to the sacred relics of religious traditions, objects have long been revered as carriers of spiritual significance. When a lost item is unexpectedly returned to us, it's not just a matter of material possession, but a symbol of the enduring bonds that connect us to the people and places we hold dear. To interpret the finding of lost items as a spiritual sign requires a certain openness to the mysteries of the universe. It's an invitation to see beyond the surface of everyday life, to recognize the subtle ways in which the universe communicates with us through symbols and synchronicities. Whether it's a lost trinket or a cherished keepsake, each rediscovered item serves as a reminder of the love and connection that continue to shape our lives, even in the midst of uncertainty and separation.